Welcome back to week 7 in our foundational series. So, in case you're into any kind of like number alignment or the spiritual numbers, I just want to point out it is currently 111, which I find very exciting, and maybe it's a sign that these YouTubes are somewhat helpful. So, I'm having a lot of fun making them, and I just want to say if you are here practicing, thank you. I am really enjoying making these for you. And if you want to let me know that you're practicing, no pressure to reach out, but I'm always happy to hear who practices, what you get out of it, as well as any classes you'd like to see made in the future. So today we are going over our mountain pose again. We did that last week as well as the forward fold, right? But we're going to touch on mountain pose again because today is for Chaturanga, which is our famous high push-up to low push-up. Chaturanga is called four-limbed pose or four-staff pose or something like that. And what it means is you're on your toes and you're on your hands. It's very difficult to do long term. And so we're going to work on the proper alignment so that we can continuously build strength. And as you go to other yoga classes or any classes I do, when we're going through our vinyasa sequence, we do so safely. This is a really important class. If you take any classes of mine, this is a great one to be at. So we're going to actually just dive right into it. And remember last week when we talked about ears over shoulders over hips? This is our mountain pose. So this is really important because when we come into our low push-up, first bit will just be workshoppy. So have a seat, get comfy, start to focus on your breath. And I just wanted to touch on it quickly before we're moving so you can see the alignment. So our high push-up is here. And a normal push-up, maybe you just go straight down or do your triangles or arms back or whatever. But yoga is a bit different in the sense that we're going to shift forward. So we'll have our hands pressing down right underneath our shoulder, and then we actually use our feet to shift forward a little bit. That way, when we bend our arm, we can keep our wrist right underneath our elbow. So instead of bringing our hand under our shoulder and creating this kind of dip and a little bit, just the amount we do in yoga is why we need to work on the alignment. A normal push-up is healthy. It's not what I'm saying. It's not healthy. A normal push-up is great, but in yoga we do so many of them that we would just want to get that alignment down. So instead of hand underneath your shoulder, we're going to push with our toes to shift our body forward, and you'll see it when we're on the ground, to bring our hand right by our side. And then watching what the shoulder is doing, we're going to keep our collarbones wide so that shoulder can stay open. So we're not pinching, we're not rounding, we're not doing any of this stuff unmindfully, just kind of going through the motions. We're going to have a proper posture, our heart forward, shoulders open, shoulders integrated on the spine, shift down with control. And then from there, that allows a healthy push to upward dog. And you'll see in a moment. So when you're ready, come to the front of your mat. We'll start with a few sun salutations and practice it, and then break it down and practice. Practice makes progress. I heard that recently over Perfect, and I loved it. Take a deep breath in. Open up your mouth, breathe out. Feel into your feet. So if you have low back issues, or for whatever reason, balance is a bit easier for you right now, feet hip width apart. If you want to work more on balance, or you don't have low back issues, you can bring your big toes together with your heels a little bit wide. Perfect. And now let's feel our feet. Press down. Spread your toes wide. Now squeeze your kneecaps up a little bit so you start to engage your thighs, but keep a soft bend in your knee. Can you squeeze your kneecaps up and keep a soft bend in your knee? So we're engaging the thighs. Now your feet pressed down. Can you slightly hug your shin bones towards one another? So we're drawing inward. It should kick up through your inner thighs, which will hook into your core muscles. So we're starting to engage a little bit more every week. And this engagement, this muscular engagement, which will go deeper into next month in strength, helps hold the alignment for you. So core draws in. Got our shoulders over our hips. Crown of the head reaching up, heart up. Take one more deep breath in. Deep breath out as if you're rooting back down into your feet. Inhale, reach up through the heart. Exhale, root through the feet. Now take a moment to come and think of an intention for today's practice. Maybe it's to really get Chaturanga down. Maybe it's to open up through the twists. Maybe it's to calm your mind. Maybe it's to see if I tell any funny jokes. I don't think I have any jokes for today, but maybe. We'll see. Whatever your intention is, hold it in the mind for a moment. Palms together in front of your heart. And then once you have your intention set, it's as if we take that intention from our hearts, and really it's like an offering up. This is manifestation 101. I'm just joking. But it could be. In a sense, you really are offering that intention up. And then exhale, let's fold forward. Fingertips to the ground. So last week we practiced with blocks, and my thighs are really sore from yesterday. I did some Ashtanga. So I'm going to use my blocks for my first one, halfway lift, and then refold down. So remember that hip hinge and fold all the way down. And once you breathe into it, relax a little. Your body might open up a little bit more, as mine just did. Breathe in, find a halfway lift. Keep that length. Plant your palms, step your feet to that high push-up we practiced last week. Now, take a deep breath in again. Exhale, downward dog. Before we go into our low push-up, we're just going to warm up the body a little. Bend one knee at a time. Let the wrists feel that pressure in them without the intense angle. Maybe shift your hips side to side, bend your knees, pedal around your feet, whatever you want to do for a few breaths. And then inhale, lift your heels. Remember, squeeze your thighs again. So can you squeeze your kneecaps? Draw your shin bones towards one another again, which will be hard, but it's really like you're trying to draw your legs towards one another. So you feel that inner thigh squeeze all the way up into the core. From there, can you come forward to your high push-up? Hearts forward, heels are back, shoulders integrate on the spine, lower your knees. Tabletop. Couple cat-cows, breath in to lift up. Breath out to round. Really what we want to do here is warm up through the wrists before we do all those push-ups. Head and butt bones up. Exhale, round. And then fingertips out to the side. You're going to shift side to side. Again, not intensely, just warming up, feeling some blood flow through the wrists, however feels good. And as we go side to side, you can even start to bend your left shoulder and your left hip towards one another, crunch and squeeze on the side, open up through the other side, and then go on the other side. Just said other side a lot. So when we squeeze the right shoulder towards the right hip, our left side waist opens up, and then we go back. And this doesn't have to be perfect any specific way. We're just warming up around the hips, shoulders, wrists, the spine. Fingers back towards your knees. This one might be too intense, so no worries if you can't do it. Don't worry. Don't worry or judge your body. Just notice and feel. If you need to go at a different angle or whatever is better for your own wrists, there is not a right or wrong here. Sometimes you can walk your knees forward, shift your weight forward to be a bit easier, and then slow motion, shift back. And then coming back around, if you haven't tried upside down yet, and you're going to put your knuckles face down, fingers towards the center line, and then stretch over to the side. So now we're stretching through this back of the wrist. And then the other hand, knuckles down, fingertips towards the midline. And we're shifting our weight over to stretch to the back of the arm. So if you're on your right back of the hand, you're shifting to the left. Good. And then come on up. Give your wrist a gentle shake. Shake it all around. Have a deep breath in. Deep breath out. So even when we're breaking down the poses and we're working on alignment or breathing, can we feel into the body? Can we feel into the body even more? Always another layer. So fingers spread wide. We're gonna press more than anything through that thumb and first finger, but really the entire palm, all your finger pads press. And that first finger or your middle finger is gonna go straight forward, somewhere in there. And so what we're doing now is we're just making sure our fingers aren't too far out to the side. Our hands are about underneath our shoulders, so we're not coming in too close. That'll hinder and allow you to round. If you need a little extra space, you can, but you don't want to go too far out either, because then that'll make it a bit awkward. So we're really going for your wrist right in the center underneath your shoulder. And then breathe. See how that feels. Now let's shift down dog. Butt bones up and back. Head relaxes down, heels down. Breath in. Breath out. The moment has come. Inhale, lift your heels. Pull forward, high push-up. Heart pulls forward, crown of the head pulls forward. Remember, we're going to shift with our toes. Push forward, you might feel it in your wrists a little, and lower your knees to the ground. So we're lowering your knees, squeezing the belly to the spine. Knees are lowered since we're going so slow on the first one. Our collarbones are wide. We're going to pull forward with our heart as if there's a string in our chest, pulling forward, forward, forward. And for this, you don't need to go far. An inch could be plenty. So actually, let's just go an inch. And then from there, press your arms straight. Draw your shoulders back, lift your heart up. Exhale, downward dog. And congratulations. You've just done your first, or maybe your 1000th, if you've been doing yoga a long time, Chaturanga. It's a big deal. So it's good to start with just an inch to build the strength. Let's try again. Inhale, high push-up. On your exhale, push with your toes so that you shift forward over your wrists. Lower down an inch or so. Lower your knees when you need to. Maybe another inch. If it's ever too much and you feel yourself collapse, you can lower through your knees and then use the weight of your knees to come up, or try to just lower down in one line best you can. And if you need help getting up, you can bring your arms a little bit more forward for extra support, coming on back up. So the reason, we can do a little workshop real quick. The reason that we built up some muscle strength in me, just did a tutorial on this, my arms are a little bit tired. So the reason that we are shifting forward is so that if we were to stay just in our normal high push-up, shoulders over wrists, and go straight down, I'm going to need my knees down for this, it would be funny on our shoulders. And then if we did manage to get to upward dog, now our shoulders are forward, I'm exaggerating, but they would be forward anyway. And when we try to, it doesn't work as well. And upward dog really should be hands underneath shoulder. Oh my God, that feels so much better. Upward dog is shoulders right over the hands. And so to automatically be in our good alignment for upward dog and the shoulders in chaturanga, it's helpful. Let's try again. Come to your high push-up. Knees up, heels to the back, heart forward. Push with your toes, push forward. It's helpful to be a little bit forward. And then upward facing dog, tops of your feet press down, heart forward. And downward dog, butt up and back. Take another breath in, down dog. Now inhale, lift your heels, squeeze your core a little bit, belly to your spine, look forward, and take a large step or a few steps if you need, feet to your hands. And again, feet hip width apart or big toes together are both perfect options. Halfway lift, exhale, fold forward, then use your inhale to come right back up. So arms can reach forward. This sometimes is really helpful if your low back hurts. Otherwise, arms out to the side is always a good option. Whatever feels best to you. Hands to heart center. So that is a Sun Salutation A with a workshop in the middle. Let's go through a proper Sun Salutation now that we've got our low push-up. Inhale, reach our arms up. The breath out allows you to fold forward, breathe everything out. And then inhale, halfway lift. Coming back to the roots from month 1 where we worked on breath. High push up on your breath out. Hold here for another inhale to get your grounding. So heart forward, heels back, breath in. On your exhale, push forward, lower an inch, maybe 2, lower your knees when you need to. Upward facing dog, full breath in. On your exhale, draw your belly to your spine. Tuck your toes to shift up and back, downward dog. Amazing. Heels relax down. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more breath in. Breath out. Breathe in, lift your heels. Look forward. Step your feet to meet your hands. Halfway lift, heart forward. Exhale, hinge from that hip. Fold everything down. And then all the way up, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Perfect. One more together. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, fold forward. Breath in, find your halfway lift. Heart stays forward. So already we have this energy line pulling us forward. So as we shift back, we're able to hold ourselves up a bit easier. Shoulders integrate on the spine. We have our high push-up. Core is active as well. Belly draws in, pull forward, lower down an inch. 2. Really, we're never going more than halfway. And then upward facing dog and downward dog. And when we say never really going more than halfway, we're talking about that 90-degree angle in the elbow. And over time, if you can hold low push-up just on its own for a while, then from there maybe start to lower down. But until we get that initial strength in the shoulders, halfway is really a perfect place to be. Take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's stay for 2 more breaths. If downward dog gets to be too much on your shoulders or wrists, just pause either in tabletop or even child's pose. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, look forward, step your feet forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Amazing. Shoulders integrate along the spine. You have that wide collarbone. We start to practice this here. Good. On your next breath out, chair pose. So let's come back to that forward fold we did action before. Think about from the thigh bones and your pelvis. Can you bend from there to sit down? So this brings that core engaged. Our back muscles are engaged. And instead of just like sitting and we're not really sure where the strength is coming from, we have that bend and we do so safely. Inhale, arms can reach up or open. Actually, for today, let's open. Take 2 breaths here. Feel your feet press down. You might feel your thighs kick in a little. Deep breaths. Notice what you feel and notice any thoughts that come up in the mind. Take 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. Keep the length. Let's do 1 more high push-up. Take an extra breath in to get your strength, get your grounding here. Heart pulls forward, lower down no more than halfway. Knees lower when you need. Upward facing dog, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, downward dog. Perfect, 2 breaths. And so in the earlier classes, I talked about back your feet up a little if you need. So your own ideal downward dog will typically be, and you can try this if you want, pulling forward to a high push-up and making sure your heart's forward, your heels are back. So you might need to extend your toes back a little. And when you can feel your core kick in, your legs are strong, heart pulls forward, this ideally is your downward dog. Now it might shift from time to time. Your toes might need to come in a little bit, but it gives you a good judge. Because remember, when we're in our high push-up, we shift forward, and that really supports our upward dog. So it might end up a little bit tighter from there. But just so you have a good general rule, as long as you're somewhere around the high push-up, your downward dog should be good. Heels relax down. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Left foot stays planted. See if you can walk or step your right foot forward. Lower your back knee to the ground. So you can have your blocks around your front foot if you want to give that length and lift through the heart and ability to open up around the shoulders. We're going to stay here just 2 breaths. Back toes tucked, heart forward. Focus on whatever sensations you feel in that left thigh. Perfect. Hands around the front foot. Tuck your back toe. Step forward this time, forward fold. So we bend at that hip hinge. Relax the upper back, relax through the back of the neck. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. This time, keep the left foot planted. Step your right toes back. Lower the back knee down. And then same thing. Hands can be around that front foot. Or if you want your blocks for a little extra support, go ahead and grab them. So heart again pulls forward, shoulders back. Back toes are tucked for now. Breathe. Feel what you feel going on in that right thigh. Press even through the front foot. One more full breath in and out. Hands around the front foot. This time we're shifting to downward dog. So lift that back knee up. Start to squeeze through the core. So we're using our abdominals to maybe even hover or lift or just wiggle, shift, step the left toes back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, round forward, high push-up. So bringing that roundingness in. We practice in the breath month. Once you get there, though, find your regular high push-up. Heart forward, heels back. Take a breath in. On your exhale, push with your toes, lower no more than halfway. Knees lower when you need to. Upward facing dog. Your knees don't need to lower if you have the strength. I've been meditating for a long time, so I'm still building back up my strength, so my knees go down. Heels relax down. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees. Step your feet forward. Halfway lift. On your exhale, drop your butt halfway down. Let's do chair again together. Arms reach forward and up. Take a breath in. Exhale, open up your arms wide. Amazing. Come back to standing. Just did a very long Sun Salutation B. So B is when we do the chair and our little lunges. Let's go through another Sun B a little bit more condensed so you get the idea. Take 1 breath in and out to reset. Inhale, chair pose, our butt drops. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. Keep the length. Step your feet to your high push-up. See if on the same breath out this time you can shift forward to your low push-up. Upward facing dog, heart forward. Downward dog, go back. Step your right foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Take 1 breath in. On your exhale, look down, lift the back knee, step forward, forward fold. Amazing. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Don't worry about chair pose. Let's stand all the way up. Arms reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. Left foot stays planted. Step your right foot back. Lower the back knee down. Good. 1 deep breath in. Deep breath out. Hands around the front foot. Step back, downward dog. Breathe in, pull forward to your high push-up. On your exhale, lower down, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Spread your fingers wide. Your butt bones are lifting up and back. And your ears You can even think about lengthening your ears towards your thumbs so we get some length in the back of the neck. One more deep breath in and out. Look forward, step, or even a slight hop. If you want to work on hops, maybe we'll work on that in strength. Let's just step forward. We'll do our little hops next month when we do strength. Halfway lift. Exhale, drop your butt. And then inhale, chair pose. Exhale where you are. Come on up to standing. Breath in, breath out. Resets where you are. So just like we've rested before in our seat or child's pose, this is our rest. We feel our feet. Draw the core in ever so slightly. Arms by the side. Eyes open. Focused on one point out in front of you, or even just looking down towards your nose. This helps to quiet the mind when we draw our awareness to that one focal point. Perfect. So last week, I know we worked, I think it was last week, maybe the week before, we've done our seated twists, where we inhale, lengthen up through the spine, and that gives us the room to twist, right? And so we're going to do twist and chair pose, and we're going to have the same idea. So we're going to use our forward fold motion that we use, so it's really coming from the pelvis, and then inhaling as much length as we can through the spine, so that we are not twisting from the hips, and we'll be able to tell from our knees. But instead, we have this great length through the spine, and we're twisting from the upper or mid back. Let's try it out. So feet hip width apart, or again, actually toes can be together for this, whatever you're more comfy with. From the hips, fold, bend your knees. Chair pose, amazing. Good. Now hands to heart center. You can even bring your fingertips together. If you do Psych K with me, where we do the belief change, we know that Psych K helps the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain get more in coherence with each other. This comes into when we change the beliefs. It's really cool. I don't know if any beliefs are changing right now, other than the belief in yourself that you can do this. So butt drops low, heart lifts. So we're doing fingertips, so it gives a little more space for the collarbones to be wide. Breath in lifts up through the spine. Breath out, we're going to twist our upper body. And then have a look at our knee. If our right knee pops out in front, even just a little bit, we know we're twisting from the hips. So we're going to line the knees up, recheck the length in our spine, and twist from our shoulder. Breathe. You might stay here. You might use an exhale to sink the butt a little bit deeper, maybe hooking the elbow on the outside of your thigh, rotating that top shoulder open. And then from there, if you are hooking your elbow, next we're looking at where are our hands? Are we crunching and folding over? Or can we drop our butt low? Can we lengthen through the spine and open through that top shoulder, bringing our thumbs more towards heart center? 2 breaths. One more breath out. Inhale, come back through center, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Amazing. Breath in. Exhale, fold at the hips, chair pose. So we have this lightning bolt action. It's actually called lightning bolt in kids yoga. Heart lifts. Exhale, let's just twist our upper body and then check in on our knees. My left knee poked forward. So I'm going to line it back up. Drop the butt. Check the knees stay aligned. And then twist that upper body. Now you can stay here, or maybe start to drop the butt a little lower. Bring that elbow on the outside of that thigh. Checking our knees stay lined up. And rotating that top shoulder open, trying to bring our thumbs a little bit more towards the heart. And the lower we get our butt, the easier it makes it for the hands to come to heart center. Breathe. Look down. Forward fold for a rest break for your thighs. So just because it gets easier to bring the hands to heart center, it might be a little more challenging on the thighs. Breathe in, find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold down again from that hip joint. Relaxing through the low, mid, and upper back. Hands on your blocks if and whenever you need them. 2 more breaths. Breathe in, find a halfway lift. Keep the length. You can keep your hands planted on your blocks if you like. If your hands reach the ground, you're going to take your 2 first fingers, hook them around your big toes, and then replant all your toes into the ground, even pressing your big toe into your fingers. From there, find a halfway lift. And again, come into the hips. Can we fold from the pelvis? So we're turning that pelvis right around that hip, that thigh bone, your femur, and then relaxing the back down. Relax through the neck. Since we're hooking our fingers on our toes, can you even maybe 10-15% pull up on your toes? So as much as you press your toes down, you engage your arm muscles and pull right back up. Makes it a very active forward fold. And then rechecking in on the core. Good. Breathe in, halfway lift. Keep the length. Unhook your fingers. Bend your knees. Come through chair pose. Draw your belly in. All the way up standing. Shake everything out a little. Do a little dance. Great. And then putting it all together. Big toes together or feet hip width apart. Feel your feet. Take a breath in, reach up. On your exhale, fold forward. Breath in, halfway lift. Keep that length. High push up. Your exhale is going to carry you with control till your low push up. Upward facing dog. Tops of your feet press down as you arc your heart forward. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward dog. Right foot steps forward. Plant the right foot right between. Lower the back knee down. Now let's come back to that twist modality. So we lift the heart as much as we can. We're lengthening. You can even bring a block under the left hand if you like, and then rotate that top arm up. So similar that we learned in chair pose, we're not trying to twist from the hips. So we're really facing our hips forward and then lifting the heart so much. Can we just come in from the shoulder? It's actually a bit easier for me to have my hand down, but if the block works for you, use the block. Take one more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Hand around your front foot. Step back, high push up. Downward dog. And left foot, let's step it forward. Lower the back knee down. Use your breath in to find that length in the spine. Breath out to plant the right hand down, get situated. One more breath in, lengthen up. Exhale, then we find our twist. Top arm reaches up. Good. So we don't always have to use the elbows as the modality to twist. We come into the spine and then see what's available. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look down. Hand around your front foot. Lift the back knee. We're going to step to high push-up and hold. Exhale, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Shoulder blades integrate along the spine. Feet press down. Maybe your thighs even start to pick up. Exhale, downward dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Full breath in again. And breath out. Walk your feet about halfway up. And just come to a seat, however is easiest. Legs out in front. Shake them side to side. Good. Now let's bring both feet in. We did this last week. So our modification, if you like, is one leg out. Maybe the other leg out a little bit as well. We're going to inhale, reach up as high as we can. Again, we're keeping our hips square. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then even in this one, you can check what's going on in your knees. I think last week we hugged them in. Sometimes that's a good idea. But if you have that leg out, it might be helpful to bring the elbow on the outside. So again, this is like we did in chair pose. Hook that elbow and then twist the heart open. Breath in to lengthen up. Exhale, twist around the heart. Back through center. Whichever you prefer for today, both are so good. There's not a better. One leg out or both knees in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hug or hook, twist. And then each breath in is a reminder, can I get my heart higher? Can I use that space I just created to maybe twist a little bit more around the shoulder and the heart? Breathe. Coming back around. Good. Now, cross your legs. Take a moment here, a couple breaths, 3 of them. Just to settle, feel your body. It's like our transition to the ending. Let me get rid of these real quick. And come forward. Let's do one more high push-up all together. Fingers spread wide. Heels reach to the back, heart forward. Let's squeeze the core, squeeze the legs, squeeze everything lower down in one line. And tops of the feet press down. I don't know if you can see my hand the whole way, so I'm going to have my fingers straight out, arm extended straight out to the side. Maybe you can see part of it. I can shift. And from here, we're going to get a stretch in the front of the shoulder. If you need a towel or a small pillow or something padded under your shoulder, feel free to pause and grab that. So fingers straight out to the side, thumb up towards the top. You're going to roll right over on your side. And then that right foot can plant behind or in front for support. And you're just super gently rolling open that chest and shoulder. Now the right hand can be fingertips on the ground for support, or you can even do what's called a half bind, which is when you do your arm back behind your back. Whatever feels better for you. If it feels too intense on that shoulder, definitely keep your right hand for support, back off, do whatever you need to do. Remember, listening to your own body is 10,000 times more important than whatever I say. Breathe. You can even bring a block or a little pillow under your head if you want for your neck. And then just hang out and see how it feels, using every breath out to try to relax. And if there's room to roll a little bit further back, awesome, go for it. If not, that's okay too. Just stay with your breath and feel how you feel. One more breath in. Breath out. Slow motion, start to come back around. So chest down, hips down. Take a moment there for a second. Rock your butt side to side. And then coming up to switch. I'm going to have to shift over a little. So now the right arm goes straight out. Fingertips out to the side with your thumb facing up. And then rotating right on that arm. So the left fingertips are for support. This left foot is either behind or in front, wherever you need. My right shoulder is way tighter than my left. I don't know why. I wonder what I did. Oh, it's super tight, so I'm not going to go very far at all. Then breathe. Relax as much as possible. And if it's too much, you can even put your leg down and rest on your head like that if you need a little bit gentler opening in the shoulder, or even to make it more restorative. 2 more breaths. Starting to come out of it when you're ready. Butt side to side. Hands underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and press up to a table. And back to child's pose. So our toes are together. Our knees might be wide. They might be together. Again, both are really good. It's just a preference. And then arms can be out in front or wherever feels most comfortable. Try to soften around the jaw, the back of the neck, even softening around your wrists. If you can imagine, what would it feel like to be softer around my wrists? What would it feel like to relax through my hands and fingers? So a lot of just exploring and seeing where we can find a little bit of softening. Where can we let go of tension? And come on up. Shifting onto our backs for one final twist. So we're going to work on that lengthening again. Let's actually start fully on the left side. So we get our hips down. And then from there, opening up, shifting, like we can pick up our shoulders and move them back on the mat. Shifting back, reach the right arm straight up, up behind you, and then around and open. So we get a full openness. And so this is different. We do want to bring that twist a little bit into our hips. So we get a full spinal rotation. And the difference here is that we're so passive and relaxed that it'll just soften and open where it feels comfortable. Versus if we're in an active pose, we want to make sure our hips are squared so that we don't actively try to force something. Does that make sense? If not, let me know in the comments when this is over and I can explain a bit further. But as passive as you can be in this twist, getting that full opening. When we talk about full opening, it's really from your right hand down to your toes. I think when I was new to teaching, I did a twist and we ended up doing it for like 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep. It was when I taught in Ohio. So if you ever went to my class and you remember a class where we did one side of the twist for so long, I was sleeping. It was so relaxing to me. I didn't want to move. So if you feel like you want to stay, don't feel pressure to move. These can be so therapeutic to just relax and let our bodies be in this position. If you are ready to switch side, I'm going to squeeze to the core, maybe just 10%. Come back through center. And we'll rotate all the way over onto the right side. Let our hips sink down where they want to be first. And then starting to open up through the shoulders. Hike the shoulders back. Get some length. And then the left arm reaches way, way up behind your head and around to the side. You can do goalpost arm or arm straight out, whatever is more comfortable. I'm shifting. I don't know if I was still in the camera view. And then relax all the way down. Just allowing your body to be draped wherever it is. Each breath out, softening a little bit more. And even our face turns away from our knees. 2 more breaths. And coming back through center. Bring our feet down and knees together, feet wide, and drape one arm over the other. Like you're giving yourself a hug. If this is too intense or it comes too close to your face or throat and not comfortable, you can just do hands on your belly. If it is comfortable to drape, feel free to do it. And then any final stretches you want to take. You need to rock your hips side to side. Do a baby happy baby real quick. Whatever you want before Shavasana. And then feet to the corners of the mat when you are ready. Soles of your feet. Soles of your feet. I was going to say your hands, but let's talk about feet. So feet side to side and relax all the way down. And then palms will be face up. Arms by your side or even out a bit. Shake, relax. One more deep breath in, like you're combing for any tension. And breath out. I'll stay here with you for a few minutes. Remember, the Shavasana is one of the most important parts of your practice, if not the most. It's that time to integrate all the work you did. And refocus on yourself through rest. At least 3 or 4 more breaths. Noticing if there's anywhere you can soften down a little more. You relax your shoulders or around your lower back. I'm starting to point and flex your toes, your feet. Maybe take a full body stretch when you're ready. If you want a longer Shavasana stay, remember, a perk of home yoga is you can stay in Shavasana as long as you need. Rolling onto one side when you're ready, or however is comfy for you to sit up. And then a moment for yourself. And shoulders back, crown of your head up. Starting to notice your posture, not in a sense that you need to fix it, but just starting to notice, I've been doing yoga for 7 weeks now. How does my body feel? Noticing any shifts or changes, whether it's today's practice or long term. 7 weeks is amazing. I want to celebrate that. Have a moment for yourself to celebrate, appreciate, and honor. And then we do the exact same. Notice, honor, appreciate each other. Thank you for being here. And I will see you next week.